Welcome to the last minute fantasy scramble. We are right here, last minute, trying to fantasy scramble right in this Yahoo mock draft. So I'm Kevin K. Mac McCartney. We got Bobby Digital Janis. We got Bud Stania. We got John Viveros. And we are 28 seconds away from starting this Yahoo mock draft. This is going to be fun. I mostly draft on ESPN, so I am learning this as I am streaming this at the same time. So it should be exciting. And we're going to find out together whether or not this is going to work. You guys ready to draft? Bud?
I'm assuming you're talking to me. You kind of broke up there, but yes, I'm very excited to be doing a mock draft with you guys. It just started right now.
We are starting. All right. Who's got this first pick?
Like the sounds on this one.
John's got the first pick.
Yep. This is honestly it's actually a toss-up here. I think you go McCaffrey to stay safe, but I think Dalvin's actually not a bad pick either. You know what? Let's go crazy. Let's go Dalvin. Dalvin Cook 1 overall.
What?
Oh, he went Dalvin.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we got some random guy named Shane up at the second pick. Oh, and he went CMC, which is going to leave me with Derrick Henry. I'm going to draft him. It's nice and easy. Wow, these sounds are very pleasant.
You know, a lot better than the ESPN Matthew Berry talking in your ear.
Yeah. All right. ESPN used to have really good sound effects, and now it's just Matthew Berry screaming at me, and I don't like that. I don't.
Yep. Agreed.
All right, guys, I'm on the clock here at 5. Some of the other running backs have been off the board. For me right now, I'm trying to think about Barkley, Kamara, or Elliott. Those have been a key three the last few years, but I'm going to take the risk on Barkley. I'm with you, K-Mac. I like him this year. I think his injury woes are behind him. Kamara scares me a little bit in that offense.
Yeah, I agree. I feel that I love Kamara. Kamara won me 2 championships last year with that crazy Christmas Day game, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that offense. And if Taysom Hill is at quarterback, then you just can't trust Kamara, at least is what you've shown from last year. Because Taysom Hill, either way, anywhere he's near that offense, he's just going to steal goal line carries and get it into the end zones. All right, so what else do we got going on? We had, after Kamara, we had Taylor, Chubb, Elliott, Devontae Adams, and here is Bud at the 11 spot. Bud, why don't you let us know what's going on through your head?
Well, I'm kind of like shocked that Tyreek Hill went at the 4th pick. I don't know why we're not really talking about that. That kind of blows my mind a little bit. But normally I go double running back here, but I'm gonna shake things up. I'm gonna go with my boy.
Diggs. He went with Diggs, didn't he? Yeah, he went with Diggs.
I'm gonna see what happens on the turn. I'm expecting Kelsey to go right here, and then maybe a running back, but I'm hoping the running back that I want falls to me. So we'll see what this guy does.
All right. So here we are at the 12th pick. Let's see where this goes. He went with Antonio Gibson in the first round. This is interesting. All right.
Something we were just talking about earlier today. Off air.
Yeah.
That's far too high for me.
Yep.
In my opinion.
I feel he could have easily done.
Yeah, keep in mind though, like if you're picking on the turn or you're picking like in the spot that I'm in.
Najee Harris? Oh my gosh, Bud, you get literally 2. Oh my gosh.
So
You get a pick right here.
on the turn, he
Wow.
went Antonio Gibson and Najee Harris. So interesting choice. I feel like those are guys that you're reaching for, and I feel like the people he was going to grab no matter what. So.
Yep.
Bud, who is it going to be?
I think it's a no-brainer. I think I'm gonna
Jones.
no. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
Jones. The value is too great.
Oh,
but-
definitely.
If you're playing in like a keeper league and you get to keep somebody and you're playing in one of these spots, like anywhere from like picks 10, 11, 12, or you're on the turn, especially if you're on the turn, you want to make sure that you prioritize who you're going to have in either the first or the second round. Just because you'll get better round value if you're keeping the following year. So, that's something to keep in mind too when you're drafting at that spot.
Yeah. All right.
It's
So
like-
we do have the draft board view out, so you can start to see. Kelsey finally went a second round to Team 9. Wow. Very creative.
That's
name.
crazy. That's crazy value.
Yep. Kelsey
Yeah,
at 6,
so-
I was just saying that Kelsey at 16 is insane.
Yeah. All right, so let's see. We are coming around the turn. Michael is picking now. To recap the last couple picks, after Bud chose Aaron Jones at 14th, we had Cam Akers at 15, Travis Kelce at 16, Mixon at 17, A.J. Brown at 18, and DeAndre Hopkins going at 19th. Apparently, that upset John.
I was gonna hope Hopkins was gonna fall to me, but he didn't. So I'm looking at a receiver. I want an elite wide receiver on my team. To me, Calvin Ridley has proven that he was an elite wide receiver last year. His numbers even without Julio, and he's only going to put up more this year. I'm taking Ridley.
Wow, nice. I like it. I love Ridley. I'm with you there.
All right, to me, looking to see that Austin Eckler still at the board here, I feel that I'm going Eckler. And I feel
that's crazy.
Yep.
That is a pretty decent 1-2 pick going at number 3. I'm happy, more than happy to have Austin Eckler fall to me at 22.
That's insane. This draft in the first 2 rounds has just been nuts.
That's who I was looking at. So now being at the turn, we were talking it earlier that the best time to get the tight ends is going to be at the turns. So I'm actually going to take Kittle here, as much as I don't normally like going. Actually, you know what? I'm not. I think that
He's not going Kittle.
Take Kittle. I'm not going Kittle. I'm actually going to go Swift. I'm not a fan of Miles Sanders. Not a fan of Sanders. This is too early to take Patrick Mahomes for me personally. I'm going a little out of left field here, but I'm going Keenan Allen here. I like the offense. He did me good last year. So I'll definitely be looking to stack him later on with Herbert if I can get some good value for him.
All right, so he's showing his cards early. He's going after Herbert, so one of us is bound to snipe him at this point. All right, Patrick Mahomes going first quarterback off the board at 3-2. All right, who do I have available? I'm looking at this draft board. Let's see. Oh, Miles Sanders. Got some wide receiver options here. I'm not going to pick again for a while. I'm running out of time. You know what? Let's try it out. Going 3 running backs. I'm going to regret this. It is hard producing a podcast and trying to draft at the same time, but that's what learning is for, right? Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Miles Sanders. Try to beat that RB trio.
I'm on the clock here. There's some good receiver options I like, but I also like the running back options here, and they're not going to be around later on. I'm taking J.K. Dobbins. They're talking about getting him more involved in the passing game potentially. I love his upside, and they got rid of Mark Ingram finally, so Dobbins is my pick here.
Look out for Gus the Bus.
Gus
yeah, well.
The Bus. No, I think Dobbins is a pretty good pick there, decent enough value as well. Because you're not going to, because you won't get a chance to get him again there.
Right.
No, Dobbins in the 3rd round is definitely a good choice. And to recap what we got going in the 3rd round so far, we had Keenan Allen with the first pick, Patrick Mahomes, the first QB off the board at number 2, Sanders at 3, Michael Thomas at 4, J.K. Dobbins 5, CEH at 6, Michael picking George Kittle at 7, Patrick with Chris Carson at 8. Team 9 is on the board. They already got Ezekiel Elliott and Travis Kelce. Who will they go with here? And that is Allen Robinson, bringing up this guy named Wes, who has Devontae Adams and Cam Akers so far. And he goes Scary Terry, which brings the pick up to Bud, who so far went with Stephon Diggs and Aaron Jones. Bud, what is your thought process here?
Yeah, I'm kind of in a weird spot. I kind of want to go running back just because most of the good ones are off the board, and it's about to get really, really thin. I'm good with my running back or my wide receiver option right now, so I'm gonna go David Montgomery now, just so I don't get picked on the turn here, because I don't know what this guy's doing. And then I'll figure out what I'm gonna do on the way back. I have a pretty good idea. I'm going one of 2 directions on the way back, just to fill up another position slot here, because I'm comfortable with my running backs now. It's gonna be dicey. We're gonna see what happens.
All right, so Airwick 23 goes with Mike Evans after going Antonio Gibson and Najee Harris around the first turn. Depending on who he picks here, will leave some interesting decisions for Bud. And I think I know who he's going to go with. I got a feeling. Is he going to go quarterback? Is he going to go Josh Allen? Yep, there he goes, pairing with Stephon Diggs, Aaron Jones. Honestly, I don't hate it there. All right. As much as I don't like going quarterbacks early, I feel that, especially having Stephon Diggs, having that pair right there, along with Aaron Jones and David Montgomery, not hating your choices so far.
I almost wanted to go Waller. I will tell you guys, in most of the mock drafts I've been doing, I've been going quarterback almost later, a few rounds later. Kind of the next tier of guys, kind of like your Dak Prescotts and your Justin Herberts and things like that. Now on this, the value on this board is already just all over the place, but I really like the spot for Josh Allen there.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Especially too with because you stack him with Diggs also, so you really can't beat that. So you almost have additional value that you may normally not have.
I'm really bad. I always chase a stack, but it pays off sometimes. So
yeah, and then Diggs and Allen is definitely one to chase.
And not a bad pair of running backs to go with that either, with Aaron Jones and David Montgomery. All right, Bobby, your pick is coming up soon. So far, you have Saquon Barkley, J.K. Dobbins, and Calvin Ridley. And you are picking. What is going through your head right now?
Well, I was waiting for a wide receiver. The value is pretty good there in this round, so that's why I'm trying to get those running backs early. I was hoping that Woods would fall, and he did. To me, this is a no-brainer, especially with Matt Stafford. I think it's going to be a huge
don't pick Robert Woods. I need a wide receiver, Bobby. Don't pick Robert Woods. What is wrong with you? I hate this guy.
Let's go.
Man, I should not have gone running back last. All right. I don't know. I don't love any of these wide receivers here. I don't love any of these wide receivers here at all. Man, if I was going running back, I have plenty of options still. Whatever. DJ Moore. I hate it. DJ Moore is my wide receiver one.
I think you make up for it with the running backs, though. I think you're in a good spot. Yeah. I like DJ Moore a lot.
Man, there's some good running. There's some pretty value running backs right here. You look at.
I like both of them. I won't take both of them. I think you go better offense right now, which I feel like is Chase Edmonds. I think that's probably the go to out of those two. But like they're both good.
I wouldn't have gone with Chase it.
There's a really good value running back. That's a kind of a reach, I think, but I know that.
There it goes.
Again.
You know, we all got our eyes on this guy.
You already know it.
And I'm gonna take him because he's a little bit of a reach, but he's a good pick. And like I said, I'm kind of stacked at running back now. Like I don't have to draft a running back again. Give me Mike Davis.
Nice.
Yeah, I think all four of us had our eyes on him. So
I knew that I wasn't gonna get him just where I was. He was gonna go into 5th at some point, but
all right, who do I have? Man, look at this draft here. I'm gonna go Kenny Golladay. Let's see. I like Daniel Jones' potential. I like him better than Adam Thielen. Deontay Johnson, I'm not sure what's going on with those Pittsburgh wide receivers. So here we go. Bobby.
All right, well, I am picking now. Yep, so I'm very happy so far with my team. I love Barkley. If he can come back, he's going to be good. Dobbins is solid at the 2 running back spot. Ridley and Woods, I'm ecstatic at wide receiver. And it's a PPR league, and I'm going to go another wide receiver. I'm going to take Tyler Lockett. I'm never a huge Tyler Lockett fan, but as my third wide receiver, I think that's a solid spot to be in, especially if they start to let Russ cook in Seattle. I'm going Tyler Lockett as my flex.
Interesting enough, right before that, we did have 2 more tight ends come off the board with Kyle Pitts and Mark Andrews, leaving us to 5 so far. And Kyler Murray is the 3rd quarterback taken off the board with the 8th pick of the 5th round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I can count. Yeah, with the 8th pick.
Why is Kyle Pitts going so early? I think that's far too early for him, man.
Definitely. Like everyone everyone's been talking about him like he is like that kind of like special player because he can play on the line, he can line up as a receiver, but we just don't know what we're gonna see. Like if he does pan out, he is like you're in a keeper league, dynasty league, like you are set at tight end
Yeah.
for 10 years.
I
Like,
get it, but I'm not gonna reach for that. Not especially when I could get this guy at value.
Yep, Hawkinson. I knew that. I was thinking about getting him on my turn, but I was like, you know what? I don't know. I'll go into that next year. But
Cannot believe he fell that far. And I
thought he was gonna go middle, but no, that's serious value there for you.
Yeah, I'm a little weak on wide receiver, and that's like totally fine because I'm really convinced I can find a lot of value like deeper down. But like right now, like I have like high scoring position players, so I'm very comfortable with where I'm at, and you know I'll even now this is an important pick for me. So, because I am going to go wide receiver here, I'm just debating on who I want to go with. I think it's pretty much a no-brainer for me. I'm going to pick up Ayuk.
Yep, good pick.
But I'll be looking for some more positional guys later on. I was going to wait on tight end, but I really like Hawkinson a lot this year, and I think he's going to be the number one option over there. For Goff, he doesn't have much other choice.
Yeah, I feel he's pretty much the only option over in Detroit, and I don't know what's going on with that team in general. But yeah, Hawk is going to be the man over there. All right, so to recap where we are so far, 5th round wrapped up going Mike Davis, Kareem Hunt, Kenny Golladay, Kyle Pitts, Lockett, Andrews, Thielen, Murray, Deontay Johnson, Lamar Jackson, TJ Hawkinson, Leonard Fournette. Coming around the turn, we went Dak Prescott, Brandon Ayuk, Travis Etienne, Melvin Gordon, Chase Claypool, and James Robinson. Chris goes Russell Wilson, leaving us to Bobby.
Yeah, this is an interesting decision for me. I wanted to go running back here to kind of shore up my running back depth. I'm not super crazy about the options here at running back, so I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers because I think right now I can get him at value. I think he's obviously going to move up if he comes back, of course, but he's the MVP coming off the MVP season. You can't go wrong with him there. I'll go with Rodgers as my QB.
Not bad. All right, let's see what options I have over here. All right, guys, do I take Justin Herbert?
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm going to do it.
Scummy.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Wow.
I hate you. I knew it. I was like, damn, is he gonna do it?
I love it.
And Goddard.
Love it.
The two I was looking at.
The Snipes. Snipes is real, man.
All right, guess we're rolling Zach Wilson late this game. This draft.
My bad. That was an accident.
I need some receivers. So Odell is an option coming off the ACL. T. Higgins, Juju Smith. I'm gonna go I'll go Odell. Probably the best value I could get him at. So I won't see him again. And then now I'm back here. Noah Fant. Not really a fan. Do I go another receiver? I can go another injury receiver in Cortland Sutton. David Johnson. I'm gonna go Chark actually. Kind of feeling it. Nothing outside of I just kind of feel it.
I mean, you got a new quarterback over there.
Yeah, they all hung out with Trevor Lawrence. Like, they practiced at Clemson this past week. Him and the receivers. Him, Marvin Jones,
Let's go.
LaVisca. So,
Let's go.
they're getting it in, man. They're practicing.
Yep.
Getting that chemistry.
I am going to take a flyer on Cortland Sutton. However, coming after an injury, I don't know. I'm going to take a chance on him, see how he turns out. I'm not really, but at least for the sake of this mock draft. All right.
I don't think he could go wrong with Cortland Sutton. I think he's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and he has the talent. He has the potential to play. You've seen it before. for how he was going in last year's drafts. And we didn't really get to see it out of him just because of that injury so early. So yeah, we'll see. He has a full year to recover, so be interesting to see how he performs here. So I believe we
There
got
goes your
Bobby
boy,
back on the board.
John.
Oh, Michael Carter.
So, yeah,
on
I'm
the
actually
7th
gonna
round.
take
Very
a
early.
little bit of a reach. I'm going to take a little bit of a reach, but I only have 2 running backs. I want a third one for depth. And I'm going to take A.J. Dillon. I'm a huge fan of A.J. Dillon. I think he's a really good running back. And now with Jamal Williams not in the picture in Green Bay, Aaron Jones will get the majority, but I do believe Dillon's going to get his fair share, and he may have games like that one last year where he takes off. And if Aaron Jones were to ever go down, Dillon becomes to me an instant top 10 back in that offense, assuming Rodgers comes back. So I'm going to take Dillon there as my third back.
It's interesting. I don't know if I'd do it, but yeah. I like your reasoning behind it.
I got my eye. Well, I have my eye on him for the same reasons. I think it's going to be really good. I think he's going to get some more opportunities. I don't see him taking over the job, but I do think he's going to get some work.
All right, so let's see what we got going on now. In the 7th round, we started with DJ Chark, followed by T. Higgins. I picked Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton. That's a name you can't say 5 times fast. Followed by Michael Carter. I can't say any names. A.J. Dillon, Damian Harris, Jalen Hurts, Jamar Chase going off the board in the 7th round. So we have Team 9, Wes V about to draft, and then Bud coming up shortly. Tom Brady comes after Jamar Chase. And who do we have next? This West guy already has Devontae Adams, Cam Akers, Terry McLaurin, Josh Jacobs, Lamar Jackson, Travis Etienne. Where will he go next? I don't even know who this person is, Wes V. Oh, well.
Noah Fant. He's looking at tight end right here.
So, Bud, how are you feeling about your team so far? Oh, you went Noah Fant?
I'm liking it. No fan. I'm liking it. I'm definitely gonna go running back here, and then probably a wide receiver on the turn. I have my eyes on a few guys. I just think for the ADP value where I'm getting this guy now, it's worth the gamble. So I'm gonna go Rojo. I'm surprised he fell that far, and the guy that's picking right behind me already has Fournette, so I just am picking him up so he doesn't try to get like the double handcuffed. But I do think that Ronald Jones is going to get carries. It's not like he's not going to get any work. It's definitely worth like the flex spot. I don't see him taking over the starting running back role for me. But I definitely like the spot. I have my eyes on a few later guys too, but one of them already went. I do have my eyes on Michael Carter, John. So you'd be happy to hear that.
I agree. I like him.
Yeah, so taking a look real quick. I'm probably going to go wide receiver here with my next pick. And this is a guy that I think his ADP is just like really skewed. I think he's going to be better this year. Yep. And TikToks aside, I think he's going to have a really good bounce back here as long as he doesn't get blown up by any kind of safeties or anything. I think he'll do pretty good because I mean, look at Pittsburgh. It's going to be a pass first offense, and with Big Ben throwing that ball so many times, there's a lot of good opportunity. I mean, Juju's getting double-digit targets almost every game the last few games he played last year. So, I mean, it's totally worth the value there.
Absolutely. And taking a look at the teams we got so far, there are only 2 teams so far who have not drafted a tight end yet, and that is John and me. So maybe looking at some guys coming up soon. Most of the good ones are off the board, unless John, do you have
Bobby
any?
Hasn't gotten tight end either.
I didn't draft
Oh, he
tight end
hasn't?
yet either.
Never mind, I lied. I can't see. All right. Now, and we have defenses going off the board. We already have Los Angeles and that's got to be the Rams and Washington defense going off the board already.
I was looking at
Interesting.
I was looking at Gesicki this round.
Yeah, me
but
too.
The guy was starting. The guy. Okay, yeah. So I wasn't gonna get him anyway, but that's what I was looking at. And the guy took him, and Robbie Anderson took a little reach on Robbie. I do like him this year, reuniting with Sam Darnold as well.
Oh man. All right, so
I
currently,
will be right back.
all right, and down goes Bud. All right, so who do we got going up now? I am still trying to figure out how to position this screen. So anybody watching right now,
Yep.
I
So I'm on the
apologize.
clock. I need a tight end, and I like Tyler Higbee here. Gerald Everett's not there anymore. With Matt Stafford, they might incorporate the tight end a little bit more. I'm liking what the Rams are doing in general. So I'm going to take Tyler Higbee to be my tight end in the 8th.
Oh man, we are running out of tight end options. All right, I see a couple down the line that I like still. Man, so here I have a couple of options. I haven't drafted running back in a while after going for the first 3. I am going to go with the guy who I think is going to be the number 1 running back in Buffalo, and that is Zach Moss. Leaving Matthew Stafford for John to draft. I thought about grabbing him too. I really considered it. I do really like Stafford this year, but this guy still doesn't have a quarterback, and he's got 2 slots to draft him now.
Like I said, I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll go Zach Wilson super late. Who knows? You never know. No, I can't. Like, as much as I want to, as much as I think Zach Wilson is going to be a great value pick in the right situation, like with the right stack, you got to go Matt Stafford here. It's just too much value at this spot. And then I do still need a tight end, and I won't see any of the ones here a ways down. So I'm going to go assuming Aaron Rodgers does play, so I'll go Robert Tonyan. He had a couple great breakout games for us, or for last season. So I'd imagine he'll be in line once again.
Not a bad tight end. I am glad that you did not grab the guy who I was thinking of, that I hope
Logan
falls to me.
Thomas.
And it does, because Justin Tucker was drafted in the 9th round. So, Justin... All right. So, let's see. Who am I picking? Do I want to go tight end yet? I guess I kind of have to. Where's Logan Thomas? I'm drafting Logan Thomas. He's going to be a top tight end this year.
Those were the 2 that I was between.
Yeah, I love his value going as the last team to pick a tight end. If I'm going with Logan Thomas, I am more than happy with that. All
I am on the
right,
clock now. I'm looking at some more wide receiver depth, being in a PPR league. For me, I'm kind of going back and forth between Deebo Samuel and Tyler Boyd, but then I saw Curtis Samuel, and he's with Washington now with Ryan Fitzpatrick. They signed him to a deal. I think Fitzpatrick, they're going to air the ball out, and we know that he increases value wide receivers. So I'm going to take a chance on Curtis Samuel as my first wide receiver here on the bench as my 4th option. I like his upside.
Not bad. I think Curtis Samuel will find himself a good fit in Washington. As a matter of fact, I think that will be a sneaky good team in general. We already know that their defense is good. Their offense, I think, is going to be making a lot of improvements this year across the board. Even with Ryan Fitzpatrick, who has now played for all 32 NFL teams, I think. So, yeah, we should see what happens in Washington. But I don't know. I'm expecting some good things out of that offense. A lot of players that show a lot of potential. I love McLaurin. I love Logan Thomas, as I was just talking about. And I think Curtis Samuel is a perfect addition just to throw in there as well. Oh, man, we're getting a lot of kickers going off the board already. How many
you have
rounds
some
is this
auto
draft?
drafters.
I
So
see.
some of the auto drafters are pretty much just filling the gaps in their team before they start going to best player available. So that's probably why we're seeing some of that. But that's fine, because then I can get guys like this
Yep.
at great value.
Tyler Boyd, for those of you who are listening to our podcast, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or anywhere where podcasts are found. You can find the audio version of our show. You don't get to see our faces or our draft board, but you can listen while you drive. I don't recommend watching us while you drive, because we may be distracting, so don't do that. So Ryan Tannehill's off the board, man. How's Ryan Tannehill going so late?
Good question. A lot of people are down on him, and it's like, bro, he has like two of the best receivers. And it's like, I guess people maybe think that it's going to be a run first offense, which I don't think it will be. I mean, I think it's going to be a pretty fair split. Now, I'm going to go running back here, and I'm basically rolling the dice on this guy, but I think if there is one guy that can end up winning a starting running back job, it's going to be James Conner. I don't think Chase Edmonds is gonna like make the cut down the stretch, and I really like the price that you can pay to get a guy like that.
No, definitely don't hate
It's not
James
like
Conner
he's
there.
not gonna get work. He's not going to get work. He's going to get carries. So it's like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was looking at him on the way back. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to get him, like as just like in the handcuff, just have both. So definitely a good pick there.
All right, so now we are getting in deep into bench territory. So this, some people say, is where leagues are won in these double-digit draft rounds. So this is where you go after sleepers. This is where you try to make those moves that'll push your team to the next level. Try to really go after value in these rounds. Bobby, I see your pick is coming up. What are your thoughts? Who are some guys that you're looking at into this year?
I like Trey Sermon. Raheem Mostert can't stay healthy. Jeff Wilson's hurt. We know that whoever is that guy in San Francisco is going to have success. I've always liked Trey Sermon coming out of Ohio State. So at this point in my draft, high upside bench guy, I'll take Trey Sermon.
Nice, I like it. Yeah, his value has seemed to shoot up, especially since, like you said, you don't know what the health of any of those San Francisco guys are. But one thing that is pretty consistent is that whoever is carrying the ball in San Francisco is going to put up production. It's just a matter of who that guy is going to be. But yeah, throughout the season last year, the number one guy in San Francisco has always been a good fantasy player. All right, so now I am back on the board. What do I do here? You know what? We have some wide receiver options. Actually, some pretty decent wide receiver options here. Could go Latavius Murray, steal that handcuff away from somebody.
it's so deep, man. Wide receiver is so deep this year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm going Hollywood Brown.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown right there is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Jarvis Landry coming off right here is crazy.
Yeah, I'm
like,
looking at that.
Odell, like Landry right here is insane.
But even Jerry Jeudy that far, like, I mean,
Yeah.
it really goes to show you that you can wait a little bit and still get a guy that's gonna get work and still be able to get you like a 1,000-yard season.
100%. Like
Wide receiver position is just so deep, which is why you can see as my team went, I did go 3 running backs back to back to back. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that in my final drafts. It's still something I'm testing around, but it shows even when you do it, I may not have the best top end wide receiver talent, but you can get plenty of depth even this late.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like if you look at Jerry Jeudy, he had almost 900 receiving yards. He only had 3 touchdowns, but what's to stop him from like going up? And
Absolutely.
Even if it is Drew Lock, hypothetically.
All right, so now I have, you know what? I'm going to go Jarvis Landry too, since he's still available. I'll pick him. I don't care. All right, so to give another quick recap, I'm not going to read all these other guys. You can look it up if you want. But I will say that John went with Latavius Murray and Corey Davis on the turn, followed by Joe Burrow, and I grabbed Jarvis Landry. So, you know what, John, how are you feeling about your team so far?
I feel a lot better if I had Justin Herbert.
I'll trade it to you.
Yeah, I'll trade you Matthew Stafford, Justin Herbert straight up. I feel pretty good about it. I definitely have some. My first 3 picks I like: Dalvin, DeAndre Swift, and Keenan Allen. Then a couple picks. Like I have some good sleepers though with Mike Davis. Someone who's got insane value. If you are not targeting Mike Davis in any of your drafts, you need to start. Chark, obviously, we're not sure we're gonna get with Trevor Lawrence.
I see you, Bobby.
Corey Davis is his most.
Oh, Bobby picked Michael Pittman Jr. In the 11th
Yes.
round.
I wanted to go pick Mike Williams, but he was taken right before me. So I was looking for another upside. Yeah, I was looking for another upside receiver. Michael Pittman really started to come on the end of last year, and now he has a quarterback upgrade for Carson Wentz. Looking like they're going to and they have that offensive line there in Indy. They didn't sign or bring in another big receiver. So I am excited about Michael Pittman as a bench stash here.
Yeah, for sure. I feel that, especially for where he's going, I think Michael Pittman does have a lot of potential for all the reasons you just said. All right. So after Michael Pittman, we saw Nyheim Hines, Matt Ryan, Jamal Williams, Devontae Parker, and Marvin Jones Jr., bringing us back around to Bud. Bud so far has gone Stephon Diggs, Aaron Jones, David Montgomery, Josh Allen, TJ Hawkinson, Brandon Ayuk, Ronald Jones II, Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyler Boyd, James Conner, and now in the 11th round, Bud is going with...
I'm going to
Irv
get my
Smith
backup
Jr.
tight end. Yeah, I think he's going to have a good season. I mean, he's shown a little bit of promise. It's just more a depth spot. I mean, it's obvious that Hawkinson's going to be my number one guy, but I like it.
I feel Irv has a lot of potential, especially in that offense, and with a lot of coverage going to guys like Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, it is going to be opening up a lot of potential for Irv Smith Jr. All right. So, after Irv Smith, we had Philip Lindsay drafted, followed by Evan Ingram, bringing us back around to Bud again.
It's the only reason I didn't pick up Ingram is I had him last year and got a little burned by some of those drop passes. Maybe he could pick it up this year, but I'm like, it's one of the guys, you burn me, I stay away. So I'm probably not going back that direction.
Like
I'm
Joe
get
Mixon?
A little more depth. Joe Mixon.
Don't make the baby, no.
I'm going to pick Baker Mayfield as my backup quarterback.
Playmaker.
Blows my mind how far he's dropping because he's improved. I just, I think it's just another great example of how you can wait on quarterback too, not just wide receiver. And you could get like good depth guys. You could get like him, and if he ends up being like even your quarterback one, it's like it's not that bad an option. There are worse quarterbacks out there, and I think you can't go wrong with him.
All right, Bud is still talking. I don't think he could hear me, but I am going to go snipe Zach Wilson away from John, and this is going to be entertaining. So, hope you enjoy.
All right, well, I'm on the clock here. I picked Aaron Rodgers, my QB, so I don't know what's going on with him. I still think he's going to play, but I am going to draft my backup QB, and I'm going to go upside here. I'm going to take Trevor Lawrence. Jack QB, a bit of an unknown, but a lot of people are saying he is one of the all-time generational talents. So to get him here, low risk, high reward, I'm taking T-Law.
All right, now time for me. Who do we got going on over here? You know what? I did just give an aside to the audience, and I think I am going to lie. I could probably do that later, but we'll see about that. I think I'm going to go my backup QB, and one of my high upside guys I see is Daniel Jones, pairing him with Kenny Golladay to complete that stack. And I feel like he's going very low. I feel that he is given all the weapons in the world. You've seen his potential. You know his arm strength. And at this point, with all the weapons he has, with a healthy Saquon Barkley, I think this is his last shot to prove that he is capable of being an NFL QB. And if he can't do it with these weapons that he's being given now, I don't know if he could do it.
He did it. John did
Told
it.
you I was gonna do it.
He went Zach Wilson.
The
I
stack that I'm chasing. If I don't get any of the quarterbacks that I want, the stack that I'm chasing is Corey Davis, Zach Wilson.
I'm sorry, audience. I should have just done it. I put an aside to the audience while Bud was talking. I said I'm going to grab Zach Wilson here just to get John again. But then I thought, no, there's no way he's grabbing him now.
Oh, nice pick, K-Mac. I like that.
All right, I picked Devonta Smith here.
I like
Yeah, I think that he can possibly have the best year from a rookie wide receiver this year, actually. I think that he is a great fit in Philadelphia as long as he stays healthy, which I guess there's been a lot of concerns given his body type going into the NFL playing against these guys. But he's played in the SEC for a while, so I don't know. I'm not too concerned, and I think him and Jalen Hurts are going to be a great combo in Philadelphia this year.
I agree with you. I think he's going to be awesome.
Okay, what do we have here? We got someone taking Jason Sanders. All right. A lot of kickers going off early, I guess, with these mock drafts. Yeah, and this goes to show you, too, like, this is just a mock draft, so we're not going to get an entirely great representation, especially this earlier on in the year. But it's good practice anyways, and we're just glad to be getting back into some football. I know we are getting closer and closer to the start of the year, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to start being able to watch some football on Sundays again.
Yes, sir.
Definitely.
I got tickets. I got tickets to the Jets. I think their first open practice, so I'm super amped, ready to go.
Nice. I got my tickets for the Dolphins-Falcons joint practices going on. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I think my buddy got some for us for the Jets Eagles. I think it is. We have up here, so I think we're gonna try and go to that as well. So I'm just excited. Can't wait.
Can't wait! Alright, what we got here? So, in the 13th round, starting with Zach Wilson, we had Hunter Henry, Devonta Smith, Jason Sanders, J.D. McKissick, Jonnu Smith, Jeff Wilson Jr., New England defense, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Carson Wentz, another sneaky good pick there, Jalen Waddle, T.Y. Hilton, and Cleveland defense. Bud going with Jalen Waddle there.
Wow.
Nice pick.
Surprised for you to pick that one, bud.
Hey, dude, I've put aside all my biases years ago. If you hold on to team biases or homerism, you will not win a league at all. You could go ahead and pick your guy. Like, you go ahead and rock Josh Allen or whoever your team is. That's totally cool, but you can't be anti these guys. It's like somebody, like, I play with guys and they're like, I'll never draft the Patriots or I'll never draft a Jet. Well, it's like, okay, bro, more people for me to pick from. Like, you gotta put all that stuff aside.
You wanna
Says the guy who drafted Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen.
I said there's exceptions to the rule, okay? No, but straight up, like, you can't be anti like these guys. You can't be like. You can't play like, say, let's use another example. You play in like a Philadelphia Eagles Homer League, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm not gonna draft Cowboys." It's like, bro, like Dak Prescott's there. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to root against him when you guys play him twice a year, but still, it's like, you know, if you're playing fantasy, you have to throw that shit out the window sometimes.
All right. Yeah, I feel that going, I don't know, you gotta get away from biases, and there's certain players that just are gonna hurt your team if you add them on. So just don't go with your home team, don't go with your biases, and just, you gotta learn to be able to be completely unbiased and not pick players like Tua Tagovailoa, because he is gonna have a tremendous year. Wait, what?
No, go ahead.
No, but yeah, Tua, top 5 quarterback this year. You heard it here first.
Okay.
Not biased.
Man, we finished it off correctly with Prater.
Man, how many more rounds do we have?
This is the last round, 15.
Really? Oh, I don't have a defense or a kicker. All right, now I have to choose between a defense and a kicker. Okay, this is not like ESPN where it's just like, all right, you can only pick these guys now.
Yep.
Oh man, who do I pick now? How do I how do I even switch it to? All right, kickers. Well, this is the top expert coverage that you can't get anywhere else. I'm going to go with Kansas City defense, I guess. Why?
And that's your team, man. You can't even get a kicker.
Who needs a kicker, right? I just had to decide between a defense and a kicker. I probably should have gotten a kicker.
It's the best.
Man, there's so many great kickers to choose from too. You know, I feel that all leagues should just abolish defenses and kickers too. I feel
A lot of like the expert leagues and things like that, they're like literally getting rid of all that stuff. No more kickers, no more defenses. It's like, and super flex. That's like the new
I support
standards.
that. I would rather have
Super Flex is the new move. Definitely.
yeah, I'd rather have 2 QBs and no defense or kickers. Yeah, I don't know. They're just. I mean, I guess there is strategy that goes into it, especially if you're going to be streaming defenses. Man, is the draft over? Oh no, Bud still has a pick, and then so does Airwick 23. But yeah, man, I don't know. These defenses and kickers, they always just annoy me, and
Same.
I don't know.
Defenses I could see people talking about. Like everyone's like, oh no, there's strategy and matchups. Like kickers, it's all just random. It's a dice
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah, if you get lucky and you get like a Young Wei Koo or somebody or
Sandman.
that, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I mean, basically you're streaming one or the other every week or every other week. You know what I mean? Until you get a good guy.
All right, so that is it for this draft. Before we close it out, I do want to give a quick recap and get everyone's opinions on their teams. So I've talked to Bud already a little bit. I talked to John a little bit earlier about this. So I'm going to start with Bobby. So far, your team, let's take a look at your team. All right, we have Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback position, Calvin Ridley, Robert Woods at wide receiver, Saquon Barkley and J.K. Dobbins at running back, Tyler Higbee at tight end. We have Tyler Lockett at the flex. On our bench, we have A.J. Dillon, Curtis Samuel, Trey Sermon, Michael Pittman Jr., Trevor Lawrence, J.D. McKissick, Rodrigo Blankenship at kicker, and the Miami defense. Before you tell me what you think about your team, Bud, John, what are your thoughts on this guy's team?
Let's hear it. Let's hear the criticism.
I think it's solid actually. Little weak at running back, obviously. Like J.K. Dobbins doesn't mean the future back that you're set. But like off just based off of what that's probably your weakest spot at running back up. I think you're solid at wide receiver. Ridley, an absolute monster, gonna be great even without Julio Jones. We're gonna see that showing up more potential that they drafted him for. Bobby Tree should have a resurgence as well with Matt Stafford. No, I like the team a lot. And then Higbee. So you're stacking the Rams. I like to see it.
All right, Bud.
Yeah, just real quick. Basically, what John said. I think running backs are a little weak. I mean, Saquon. The thing where he's not giving the timetable when he's going to be back, and then we see the posts like literally yesterday or the day before, and he looks like a monster. I'm almost certain he's going to be back week 1. I just don't know that he's going to get a monster volume to start off until they know that he's like tip top. J.K. Dobbins is going to get work, but Gus Edwards being behind might be a problem. And then you kind of hope that A.J. Dillon and Trey Sermon get some breakout roles and get some volume. I mean, otherwise, everything else is like really good. I love your receivers. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be an awesome quarterback too. So I think you're in good shape.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, besides the fact that I guess we still don't 100% know what's going on with Aaron Rodgers, I love the team, love the wide receivers. I actually am a big fan of the running backs. I think Saquon Barkley and J.K. Dobbins for where you're able to get Dobbins is actually a good combo right there. Outside of that, I would be maybe a little bit worried about the running back depth. However, I do like that late grab of Trey Sermon. I think that is a good pick, and I feel that you got a couple other good young upside guys as far as Michael Pittman and Trevor Lawrence, of course. But yeah, Bobby, what is your thoughts and your takeaways on how your team went?
Yeah, I think the key for my team, my starters, is Dobbins. If he can somewhat get more of a feature workload, I think that's going to help, as well as Barkley. I think if he pans out, like we were talking about, if he ends up being healthy and getting that workload again, with Kenny Galladay there, opening up the passing game a little bit more, he might not see as many stack boxes, and he could go back to that Barkley that we all know, and that's really what I'm banking on. And I'm ecstatic with my wide receivers and Ridley and Woods. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the team.
All right, Bobby, that was your team. Now let's talk about my team. I had Justin Herbert at quarterback. My wide receivers are DJ Moore and Kenny Galladay. Running backs, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, Logan Thomas at tight end, Miles Sanders at the flex. On my bench, I had Cortland Sutton. Hey, I said it right that time. Zach Moss, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Jarvis Landry, Daniel Jones, Devonta Smith, Tua Tagovailoa, and the Kansas City defense, sans kicker. All right, Bobby, what do you think about this squad right here?
I love Justin Herbert. I'm a huge Justin Herbert fan. I've been on this podcast before saying that, so I think he's going to just continue to ascend, and he's going to be one of the next best generational QBs, in my opinion. I love your running backs. Henry, and especially Eckler in a PPR league, is just absolute money. And to get Miles Sanders at your flex at your third spot, I like what you did there. I'm not crazy about the wide receivers. I was never a DJ Moore fan, and Kenny Galladay concerns me a little bit only because Daniel Jones is a bit of an unknown. I think Kenny Galladay is an incredible wide receiver. I've always think he's been underrated. I'm just not sure how he's going to pan out this year with Daniel Jones as his QB, and they have some other options there. But your bench, I think, makes up for it. I love your bench. Devonta Smith was my favorite pick on your bench. I love his upside, especially where you got him. And you do have, Jarvis Landry, same thing. We were talking about it too. Where getting Landry late, where you can get him as well. So you have some depth, in my opinion, in case Galladay might not pan out. So not a huge fan of the wide receivers, but other than that, I love what you did there for the most part.
All right, so we don't have too much time. I do see a ticking timer at the top of the screen. I don't know if everything's going to disappear when that runs out. So, Bud, John, just give me a couple seconds each on how you think my team went. Starting with you, Bud.
Yeah, so I'm kind of in disagreement with Bobby. I kind of like your wide receivers a little bit. Kenny G is the one question mark, but I think the other guys that you got, like, super late, Devonta Smith being one of them, but also like Cortland Sutton and Hollywood Brown, I think it's really good, and I like your running backs too.
Nice. All right, John.
No, I definitely like running backs. Definitely some value with your receivers, and I do like as well the baby stack you got with Herbert and Eckler.
I didn't even realize I had that stack going on, but that's good to know. All right, so let's take a look at Bud's team, where we are. Budlow. All right, Bud got Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs right off the bat. Brandon Ayuk as the second wide receiver. Aaron Jones, David Montgomery as the running backs. TJ Hawkinson as the tight end. Rojo at wide receiver, running back, tight end. Let's call it flex. Juju Smith-Schuster, Tyler Boyd, James Conner, Irv Smith Jr., Baker Mayfield, Jalen Waddle on the bench. Michael Badgley as the kicker. And Tampa Bay defense. John, what are your thoughts on that squad right there?
The squad is no injuries. Like just looking at the team right now, like this is a team that can win a league. Like you don't even have to do anything about it. You're solid everywhere. Like you got your Flyers and your rookies with Waddle, Waddle. You got Baker Mayfield, same value there. And then people like Juju Smith, Tyler Boyd, James Conner, with great value for what they are. And then obviously you got the Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs stack. Like what more else do you need?
All right, Bobby, what are your thoughts on this squad?
Yeah, I'm a huge believer. We talked about it, those stacks. I'm a huge believer in the QB wide receiver stacks. I think that they can give you a chance any given week. They give you those double points. And so having that stack of Allen and Diggs is one of the best there is. And so that's something that really excites me about this team. So, yeah, I do think it's a solid team. I'm not crazy about having Rojo in the flex there, but the bench looks really solid as well. I'm liking the mix, like John was talking about, of upside as well as depth there. Especially some guys like James Conner, for example, he could end up taking over that role from Chase Edmonds, and that's a pretty valuable role in that high-powered offense. So yeah, I think it's a solid overall team with some upside.
Yeah, to me, absolutely, I love that stack. I think that is a great thing. I think it fell into the perfect position for you. I love your top two running backs with Aaron Jones and Montgomery. I also agree. I don't love Rojo, but for the value that you got him at, not bad at all. Other than that, TJ Hawkinson, a great pick at tight end. We also have, let's see here, Brandon Ayuk as your second wide receiver. I mean, I feel that there is definitely a steep fall off after Diggs. I'm not as high as Ayuk as some others are, but that's just me. But Bud, what is your thoughts on how your draft went?
Yeah, I think if there was one spot where it was a little dicey for me, it would probably be wide receiver. Because I did wait a little bit, but I'm glad with the positional players that I do have, like as all my like number one guys. But like I said, I mean, having Juju and Tyler Boyd as like your potential number two, number three wide receiver, I'm like super stoked to have both of those guys because those guys are going to get a lot of work and what's going to be like really pass heavy offenses.
All right, so we do have one team left, and that is John's team. We had Matthew Stafford, Keenan Allen, Odell Beckham Jr., Dalvin Cook, DeAndre Smith, Robert Tonyan, Chase Edmonds, Mike Davis, DJ Chark, Latavius Murray, Corey Davis, Austin Hooper, Zach Wilson, Matt Prater as the kicker, and the Buffalo defense. I'm going to go ahead and kick things off with this. I love Stafford for the value, got him at quarterback. Besides that, we have Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Swift, not a bad pair of running backs. Mike Davis Jr., I agree. I think we could all agree. We all love that pick. And having him as your fourth running back, actually, I'd consider him the third. I feel that he's better than Chase Edmonds, but that's just me. But I love the squad. Again, I feel after Keenan Allen, similar to Bud's team, there is a steep drop-off at the wide receiver position. But, Bobby, what are your thoughts on the squad? Very quickly, the clock's running down.
I love the Chargers offense and what they're doing. Dalvin Cook, obviously, great pick. I'm a little worried about DeAndre Swift. They brought in Jamal Williams, and I don't trust their coaching staff at all in Detroit. I think they're going to have some struggles. I'm a little bit worried about Swift in that regard, but his talent is undeniable. And I'm loving that Mike Davis pick. I mean, we all love that pick. So solid team.
All right, Bud.
Yeah, pretty much everything Bobby said. I'm a huge Mike Davis supporter. Wide receiver wise, I'm a little dicey about that, but that's what you get when you pick on the turn. You do end up being a little weak in one position, and same thing happened to me on the other end. But I really like Keenan Allen a lot, and I think you're pretty good. I think Bobby Tonyan is going to be pretty good too.
All right, John, what are your thoughts on how your team, as this clock runs down, that is probably going to delete everything?
Yeah, like I said, my receivers are definitely my weak spot. Yep. Oh, no, I still got
And it's gone. Oh, I can see my team. I can see my team.
too.
Oh, and it's gone.
Definitely on the weaker side. But I think I definitely have positions that if I was stuck with that team, I could make some trades for him. But I'd be okay with that team. I wouldn't be happy, but I would be okay. Like I could definitely make some moves with them.
All right, so now the time has come. The draft is finished. Before we go, I want to go around the board a little bit and ask each of you if you could choose. Oh, man. Oh, we see Bobby. All right. All right, we're going to ask each of you if you could pick one of the other three's team as our winner of the mock draft. Who would you pick? Bobby, since you are now at the top corner of our quad box we got going on here, I'm going to kick it off with you.
So it can't be your team. It has to be one of the other three.
It can't be your team.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll take Bud. Bud's team again. I like what he did. I love Aaron. I'm always been a huge Aaron Jones fan. The upside is incredible. I mean, with Bud's team, I like looking at upside, and his team can win a week, no matter what else happens, just based on Allen, Diggs, and Jones alone, and that already is powerful enough. And then adding the depth on the bench as well, And I just like what he did. So yeah, I'll take Bud's team.
All right, so Bud, you're up there. Who do you pick?
I'll return to favor and I'll go with Bobby. I really like Bobby's team. Sorry guys. No, but the running back depth was really good. I'm just re-looking. What else was the other thing I really liked? Oh, the wide receivers. He got like literally all the wide receivers that I really dug this year between Calvin Ridley, Bobby Trees, and who's the other guy that you got that I really liked? Oh, Tyler Lockett. Yep, Tyler Lockett also. Yeah, I mean, you had overall depth. AJ Dillon, I think, is going to get work. I told you that too. Tyler Higbee's the only thing that concerns me, but I really like your wide receivers, and I mean, in PPR format, that's going to pay dividends. So I really like that a lot. So I like your team, man.
All right, John.
I like Buds. It was a toss between Buds and Pop for sure. I did like the Kurt Eckler stack you had came back, but I think Bud's team, like I said it when we were talking about it, that I thought his team would be one that could win a league like as was, especially with the Diggs and Allen stack.
As for me, I don't remember anybody's team. I'm still just trying to figure out how to produce this thing and draft at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and say my team, even though I'm convinced it's the worst. All right. So everybody, thank you for tuning in to the Last Minute Fantasy Scramble. I think because of the consensus around the board, I believe that Bud is the big winner for mock draft number 1. Bud, anything you want to say to the haters?
Josh Allen looks good in shorts, man. That's all I can say.
All right, so on that note, for Bobby Digital Janis, Bud Stanio, John Viveros, I'm Kevin K. Mac McCartney. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find the Last Minute Fantasy Scramble, like I said earlier. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any of the other podcasts. We are also on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook. We are trying to make our way into social media, so keep an eye out for us there as well at LMFS Scramble, LMF Scramble, I believe. You'll be able to find us very soon. Again, thank you for watching, and we will see you. We are going to be trying to bring you a few more mock drafts before the year begins, so keep a lookout for us, and thanks for tuning in.